It's going to sit more upright. You can see the old screen that I had put back on. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, do that thing down below. A couple of months ago, I flew through my GV windscreen and damaged it, broke it in half, bent the brackets. When that happened, I knew I was not going to be replacing it with another GV windscreen. I was never really fully satisfied with that. I thought the angle of the windscreen put too much wind on my helmet, and at the time it was an inexpensive solution compared to some of the other windscreens that were out there. But there was one windscreen that I was interested in, but passed up on it at that point in time. But this time I've decided to go with that. And that windscreen is the Rade Garage Rally windscreen. So it's gonna look something like this on here. And according to Rade Garage, it should get the wind up and over my helmet and create a nice little wind bubble. Now, there have been a number of people who have commented on my windscreen videos and have told me just to crunch my abs and it'll hold me in place. The problem with that is when I ride 8 to 10 hours, if I'm continually crunching my abs for that amount of time, it builds a lot of fatigue, and I don't want to do that. I want to be able to be relaxed on the bike, so this is the solution I'm coming up with. Now, Rade Garage has a good installation video, so I'm not going to go through all the steps. There's a few things that I'll just point out as I go through the installation, but I'm actually going to modify this a little bit. So I'll install it and show you what it looks like in place, and then I'll take it off. Now, one of the things after I show you what it looks like in place is I am not really keen on this clear plastic look where it used to have this dark gray plastic around the light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this off, and then I'm going to sand the inside of the windscreen just enough with a very 400 grit sandpaper, just enough to rough it up. And then I'm going to paint the inside of this black so that it matches more of the look that's here and also provides a little bit of shade over the back of the windscreen here where I've got maybe my phone and I want to get some glare off of it, or I've got my thermometer. So that is some of the things that I'm going to do. So if this is of interest to you, stick around. I'll go through a very quick installation, not all of the steps because Rade Garage has a good video on that, but you'll see what it looks like very quickly, and then I will do the paint and then reinstall it so you see what it looks like all painted, matching the colors on these winglets. So let's get to it. Real quick, I just want to give a look of what the difference will be. So this is going to wrap around to here and it's going to sit more upright. You can see the old screen that I had put back on. This is in the high setting, and then the windscreen here, the new one's going to swoop up. Now it's going to sit back further into the bike because I'm just showing the comparison here. But this is the area that's it's gonna fill up. So we gotta take the windscreen, the winglets, and then take off where the GPS mount goes. I already had the windscreen off, so I'm just gonna spin that off really quick. And I don't have the stock bolt. I lost the stock one when I was keeping this. So a good tip is whenever you take anything off your bike, keep it, hang on to it just in case you break whatever aftermarket part you put on. So you can always add your windscreen or whatever it is you've taken off, you can always put it back on if the situation arises where you need it. Now, next thing we're going to do is take off where the GPS mount could be. GPS mount comes off. I have a thermometer here. I am going to find another place to put this on the new setup. Now, a couple of things I've got to do is I've got to take these bolts, I don't know what you want to call them, bolt clips, and put those on the piece that goes in here. So let's do that. When you buy this kit, you have the option of using the GPS mounting bar that comes with it, which I'll show later, which there's two different inserts. The one with the rivets in it is for the GPS insert. This one, if you just want to blank it off, you can just set that in there. I am going to use the insert, so I need to put the clips on. I pinch these down and then also set them in there. They're still not grabbing, but they are lined up. That was lined up. And I put just a piece of tape just to hold it in place. So before I set this in there, I want to make sure that that is lined up. There we go. So make sure your nut, the hole, is lined up before putting it in there. Now I need to take these winglets off. There's an Allen key down in here. And I think these just slide straight up and come off. So these just have some tabs in here, which the new brackets are gonna use. This is, the winglets are off. I've got the other ones I can put on, and now I can put this bracket on, which I think goes like this based on the width of everything. Get the screws put in, which I have here. All right, I'm gonna fit this a little bit loose so I can make sure everything's lined up before tightening it. These just have the tabs to match up from the other one. And slide in just like that. So then the windscreen should go on. So I should be able to fit this. I just loosely fit this. It gives you an idea of what it looks like in place. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see all this stuff back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably tape it around here, somewhere this level, and then paint the inside. Now, if you're wondering why to paint the inside of this, it's so that when bugs and rocks and stuff hit the outside, you're not going to be chipping your paint and having it come loose. So just a light sanding, and then I'm going to use some black spray paint so it will hide all of the stuff that's in the back. The other thing that I am going to install is this GPS mount. I already have a ball mount on it for my phone holder. So this is just going to mount right back here, and then I'll have a nice platform for putting stuff, GPS, whatever you want to use. With this bar, there's a lot of different mounts you can put on. I have the windscreen all taped up, and I have it all painted on the inside where I wanted it. So what I need to do now is just take the tape off, and then we will get this all lined up and put in. So I will get started on doing that, and I will show you what it looks like afterwards. Tape is off, and there's a few small blemishes in there that I maybe could have done a little bit better, but I like the way this looks, and now it's just a matter of getting it mounted up. Windscreen is mounted. I had a little bit of trouble with these middle screws, getting them started. They gave me a little bit of trouble, but I was able to get those going. I really like how this being painted off, the black looks so much better than when it was clear. I really did not like the clear look. I should have painted this probably another inch higher to have been right about here to cover up a little bit more of what's behind here where the old windscreen mount was. But overall, I like the way it looks. I need to get out and give it a ride. I've got one more thing left to do, is this edge is a little bit sharp around here, and Rade Garage provides a little molding that goes over this edge. So I'm gonna put that on and see how it looks. I don't know if I'll leave it on, but I wanna at least start with it on there, and then we'll figure out whether or not it stays. All right, I need to wrap up this video so I can get it finished. I got about 300 miles today on this windscreen, and that included a little bit of off-road dirt road riding. It included a little bit of interstate riding, and mostly just 2-lane roads, back roads through the countryside. Now, I've got some things that I really like about it, some things that could be better, and then just an overall assessment of the windscreen. So the things that I like about it is the rally look that it has. I like that. I like that look. Even with the unique look of the KTM front end, I think it looks better with this windscreen. The other thing I like about the windscreen is the distance away from me. I feel like it's much further away than my last windscreen, and I appreciate that distance. It's easy to look over at distance and even up close. It's not obscuring my vision whatsoever. I didn't expect it to, but it's always one of those things that you have to look at when you're riding. The other thing that's good about it is because it's a little bit smaller profile, there's plenty of room with the handlebars and the handguards not making contact with the windscreen. When I do put a big bar upgrade on this with some new handguards, I'll have plenty of clearance, which is important. Now, some of the things that I noticed riding today is it has a nice bubble around my shoulder area, about mid-nose down and around, so I'm not getting any wind pressure on my chest, which it was a little bit cool out this morning, so that kept me from having the cold elements on me and pulling the heat out, which I really appreciated. I did notice that the wind is hitting me right about mid-visor, which is only a big deal at about 60 miles per hour and faster. That's when I really noticed it. There was some wind noise on my helmet. Part of that is because I've got a camera hanging off one side and communications off the other. If I didn't have those, I think the wind would slip by. There's gonna be a little bit of added noise just from what's coming over the windscreen, but it wouldn't be that bad. I did stand up to see where it went away, about a foot over the top of this. If I was up that high, it became much cleaner air, but in order to do that, you get all that pressure on your chest and then you're more exposed to the elements. So I'm fine with it the way it is. Anything below, right around 55 miles per hour and below, you don't really notice it. You're not getting that much wind pressure. It's fairly quiet. It's no worse than my previous windscreen. I think it actually might be a little bit better than the previous windscreen. Overall, again, I like the looks. It functions the way it should. It's a much slimmer profile, which I like. The other windscreen had a very big profile. This is much smaller. Painting it black gave it a much better look. So if you have any questions about this windscreen, the mounting of it, leave those in the comments below. Rade Garage has a much better tutorial on mounting this, but of course they're a bit biased in their review of it. They said people up to 6 foot tall can ride behind it and have it go over their head. That might be the case depending on the bike. My seat is about a ½ inch taller than normal and it was hitting me mid-visor. So those are some of the experience that I've had with this. So hopefully you found this useful, especially if you have a KTM 390, 790, or 890 and you're considering putting one of these windscreens on. They are pricey. It was almost $300 with shipping and handling to North America. If you live in Europe, it's about 200 US dollars, which is not bad. The shipping and handling is quite expensive. We'll see whether it's worth it long term. As long as I don't fly through it like I did my last windscreen and it lasts a few years, I think I'll be very happy with it. And because it's a much slimmer design. So anyways, thanks for watching. Get out, do some riding, ride safe, and I will see you out there.